Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hope you're all doing well this January and keeping warm in the absolutely freezing weather.
Not nice, is it? Dreaming of Spain.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So today we're going to be talking about the dreaded scales, or maybe they're not dreaded for you, but I know for a lot of people they are. So the affirmation today is the scale doesn't show my strength, confidence, or happiness.
Absolutely. This one. Yeah. I think so many people use the scales, don't they? Like, what's your experience? Did you ever use the scales? Do you ever use the scales? Like, what's the deal?
I used to. I think I don't think I ever had an unhealthy relationship with scales. Um, Surprisingly actually. But yeah, I would definitely go on the scales every now and then. Had them at home, I think, growing up, always in the bathroom. It was always a thing, wasn't it? Like in the bathroom. Um, and then when I would join the gym, I would use the body what is it? The
Tracks.
that's it, the body tracks, which would do all like your BMI and your muscle mass and all of that kind of stuff. And I would find it quite interesting actually, like seeing all those different numbers and things like that. Obviously, you have to keep in mind it's all like not 100% accurate, but it is quite interesting. But then I think I got to a point, I must have got to a point, Joe, I can't fully remember, but where maybe it was a little bit unhealthier. Because now I don't have scales and I don't go on the scales and yeah, we don't even own any in this house. And every now and then I get the urge to just go on them just out of like curiosity. And then it
Yeah.
passes within like 5 minutes because I'm like, I don't have any, I'm not going to buy any. So I really don't care.
Yeah.
And also, I think sometimes it's when you're in like a negative headspace. I was actually chatting to a client about this the other day, but you never really want to weigh yourself when you're feeling good, do you? It's always in like the moment where you're like, oh, I'm not sure how I'm feeling about my body today. Maybe I'll just jump on the scales to like see where I'm at. Um, but yeah, like then you're probably just setting yourself up for a bit of self-sabotage and just to not feel great if the number isn't what you want it to be. So yeah, I just don't
Then
own them.
would you, sorry, but then just you saying that, I'm like, but then do people book like, is it a reason for them to then binge? I've never thought about it until you said that. But you know, when you're like, when you're feeling rubbish and stuff, and like
Hmm.
sometimes people need a reason to eat chocolate or whatever
Yeah.
it is you're not doing. Like, because a lot of people will like restrict when they're trying to lose weight and stuff like that. But then
Mm.
is it like you're feeling a bit crappy and you think, oh, so you get on the scales and actually it makes you feel worse. And you're like, oh, now I've got a reason to eat because that's made me feel like shit. Rather than actually being sat in that moment going, okay, maybe I don't feel great. Why don't I feel great? Like, because you said you don't get on it when you're like feeling good, and most people probably wouldn't because they're like not even thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. I
Maybe.
just something that came to my mind just then to give you a reason to actually. I've now got permission to eat chocolate because it's not gone the way I wanted. So, fuck it.
Yeah, maybe. I'm sure people probably do feel like that.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we know that a lot of people, if they do see that number on the scales go up or isn't where they want it to be going, will then binge. But we can go into that anyway. But tell me a little bit about your. Can't even think of the
Do
question
you know
now.
what?
Good saying.
I I never like as a kid. I've never seen my parents get on the scales. My dad only got on the scales when he had to lose weight because of his operations and stuff like that, like medical stuff. We've got them in the bathroom. We've got scales, but I've never like it's never been a thing that we've ever done. Um, which I'm gonna thank them for that because I'm really glad about that. I'm not obsessed by that.
Yeah.
The only time I've actually really done it was when I did a 6 week cut with my friend because she like
Mm.
does Muay Thai, right? And she wanted like somehow when she's like, oh, will you do it with me? And we were living together. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do it with you. And I did it then to see, okay, let's see what the deal is. But I'd have to actually really think about getting on the scales because I don't do it.
Mm.
So it was forcing a new habit that I was like, oh, I really don't give a shit. But I did it because she was doing it, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll just ride the process because she had to hit a weight because of the sport she was doing.
Yeah.
Obviously, if there was no sport where you had to weigh yourself, it would have been different. Like you wouldn't have had to have done it. And I think actually the only other time I looked at the scales was when I broke up with my ex. And that's because I knew I was getting slim and I was thinking I can't go on like if this keeps dropping as quickly as it's going, like this is not good. Like and I get on it then, but that was only for like a week just to see like every now and then to be like, where are we at? Oh God, I should probably actually I need to start eating at some point.
Yeah. Yeah.
But mine's never been like outside of that, outside of those like maybe 2 weeks of my life, like I have never got on the scales unless it's out of curiosity because I've been doing like, oh, do you know what? There's a pair of scales there, maybe I'll get on it. But maybe like half the time, never.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think everyone, it does, I think, depend a lot on your upbringing. Because my mum, I think my mum used to go on the scales. Oh, do you know what? I can't actually properly remember. I don't think it was like a thing done all the time, but I don't remember my dad ever going on them, but I definitely think my mum would weigh herself. Um, but again, I don't think it was a massive thing in our house. Whereas I think speaking to clients and stuff like that, like a lot of parents and things, maybe they've been obsessed over it, which is then why, they've then been obsessed over it, etc. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I think a lot of those things do get passed on, doesn't it? Like if you talk about yourself like that, your child hears you and like
Mm.
what you want to influence on them because they're going to be picking up those things. Um, and like yeah, anything like that, the way you eat, the way you do anything. If your parents do it, you're more likely going to do it, aren't you? And like you think of the adverts that our parents used to see, like the Special K adverts, and it's like you pinch an
Wild.
inch, like you like that's not good. And I'm like, if you can pinch an inch, what, like wow, I can probably pinch more than an inch, and I work out a lot and eat normal foods. Do you know what I mean? Like, and
Mm.
people are like being told that on TV, and it's drilled into them, like
Yeah.
you should be able to pinch something because otherwise you're just skin and bone. Like you're just bone. Like
Mm. Yeah, it's wild, isn't it? I think the generation before us, I mean, it's still bad now because we've got social media and obviously people are all editing their photos of themselves, videos even of themselves, and everyone's comparing themselves to these unrealistic people. But also, so we've still got that in that way. But before, like you say, it was really toxic adverts. There's someone on Instagram, might be is it M. Clarkson? I think she posts a lot about those kind of things. I put in adverts, maybe like 5 or 6 different adverts into one post, and then just how toxic they were. And it's just like, wow, that's crazy. No wonder. I mean, I know we're not just talking about men. I know obviously there's problems with that too, but like for women, no wonder we all lack self-confidence and low self-esteem and, have want to have the smallest, like perfect body, whatever that is, because it's just what we've been told our whole lives, isn't it? That's what we have to look like. It's
yeah,
just
it's like
mental.
if you're taller, you're better. But why are you? Like for what reason? Like
Yeah.
how are you better in any way, shape, or form? That doesn't make your personality any better. That doesn't make you a better person. Like it doesn't make you good, does it? Like you could still be really miserable and horrible and not a nice person to be around and be really skinny and whatever it is that people are trying to achieve. Like
Yeah.
it's madness, isn't it?
And there's so many unhealthy people as well that are, I mean, I'm not sure if this is a bit too extreme, but you think about people that are addicted to drugs, for example, like they're often on the smaller side. I'm just stereotyping here, but they're not healthy. I can't imagine if you're addicted to heroin or things like that. Like, just because you're smaller in size doesn't mean that you're a healthy person, or you might just eat 5 chocolate penguins a day. I don't know. Like, and so you're small, but essentially you're not getting in anything your body actually needs. Um, so yeah, it's a hard one, but size definitely doesn't have a true honest reflection of what's going on inside your body.
Absolutely not. I mean, like for my breakup, for example, I only ate like I couldn't eat. Like it was stuck, everything was stuck in my chest. Even if I hadn't eaten anything, everything was stuck there. But I'd eat like maybe a chocolate bar every couple of days. Like, that's not healthy. Like,
No, no.
I was doing that, drinking water, trying to work, like, and I was tiny, but like I had no bum. Like everything was flat. None of my clothes fitted. It was horrible. Like I didn't have the energy to go like running or like just wanting to like talk to people all day. I had no energy to do that. Whereas now, like like I've gone back up to where I normally sit, like maybe not weight wise, but like how I feel in my clothes and stuff. But like, and I'm definitely bigger than there. Like, you know, but I've got so much more energy, and I eat like 3 meals a day plus my snacks. Like, I can run around, play football, do this, feel good, feel energized, and all this stuff. Like, yeah, you can definitely be like tiny and be really unhealthy. Like, you can be really big and really unhealthy, but you could also be small and really healthy, and you could be bigger and really healthy.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think like a lot of women that I work with are perimenopausal or menopausal, and I always see it like in their weight loss journey, if that's the journey they're on, which a lot of people are on that journey, which is absolutely fine, because sometimes their habits aren't the healthiest and they want to create some healthy habits and eat better and feel more energized and all of that stuff. But there's usually, you get to that point, don't you, when there's a plateau and you got to like mix things up a little bit. And when people stop seeing that number on the scales going down, their instant reaction is, well, it's not working. I might as well just stop doing it. And my answer to them is always like, but look how well that you're eating. Look at the fuel that you're putting into your body. Like, look at the healthy proteins, the loads of vegetables, the good complex carbohydrates, the healthy fats. That you've got this great balance. You're drinking enough water, you're moving more. So, yes, maybe the number on the scale hasn't moved for a week or two, but your body is still going to be healthy because of these habits that you've built. And if you now go back to your old ways and stop doing all of those things, first of all, your weight might go back up, which you probably won't want. Your energy levels probably won't be as good. You probably won't have as much confidence. Like, you're not going to feel as good. So don't give up at that, at that first hurdle, like, because all those other things are so much more important. And you're probably going to live, if you stayed at that weight and ate the way that you did, your body's going to be so much healthier. You're probably going to live longer, all of those things because of those habits you have. Whereas if you revert back, you're just going to feel like shit again, essentially. And that's why you started on that journey in the first place.
Absolutely. You're just going to go backwards the minute you stop because the scales have changed. Like the numbers haven't changed, aren't they?
Mm,
Like it's funny how that triggers people to then stop doing what all the really good things that they're doing. And like you say, like just because that scale number doesn't change doesn't mean you haven't changed.
mm,
Like you could look different, you could take up less space. Just because that weight number has not changed doesn't mean these things haven't happened. Like, and I think a lot of people come in when they first start with a coach, wanting weight loss. Most people,
yeah, yeah.
right? But as they start doing it, they realize, okay, it's not just about this.
Hmm.
They're, as we said before, a lot of people don't know what it feels like to feel good, right? So when they start creating these healthier habits and stuff, they start realizing actually, ah, maybe like what does the scale do? What does it matter? Like I'm actually feeling really good and I'm getting in these clothes and I'm doing this and I'm more confident in photos and stuff. Whereas before you wouldn't be like that. So I think a lot of people have a change of mindset, maybe not straight away. Like it may take people a while. It could take people a couple of years to then realize actually I'm not after weight loss. I'm
Yeah.
after feeling good, feeling strong, being able when you're older. Like
Mm,
exercise doesn't have a time limit. It doesn't go, right, I'm 50 now, I can give up exercise. Like, it's just not a thing. Like, you should be able to exercise throughout your whole life.
hmm.
Like, but yeah, to start with, it's funny as soon as that, yeah, they see the scale numbers go up, like a mix of emotions
Mm,
is like triggered in people. And like, I was speaking to like a couple of clients in the last couple of weeks, and I said to them, I was like, right, so like do you get on the scales? Because for me and the people I coach, I never get anyone on the scales. I barely ever measure anyone unless someone wants measurements, then I'll do it. Again, if they want to take photos, they can take it. I don't force it on people because I'm trying to get them stronger and feel better. But
yeah.
I said to her, do you get on the scales? And she was like, Yeah, I do. Like, not as bad as I used to be, maybe once a week now, like sort of thing. I said, but why? Why do you get on the scales? What's the reason? She's like, oh, it motivates me. I'm like, okay, what does it motivate you to do? She was like, it motivates me to move more and not like eat shit, basically, is what she said. And I was like, right, okay. I was like, and what happens if that number goes up? What happens then? She's like, well, I then end up binging on loads of food because it's like like obviously at that point she's cut out loads of different foods that she probably enjoys. Um, but then she eats all those foods that she then enjoys because she hasn't been eating them because the number on the scale's gone up. And I'm like, so how is that helped your motivation? And she's like, yeah, because as soon as the number goes up, I'm now not motivated. So I'm like, so the scales isn't a motivation for you then? She was like, hmm, that's a good point, actually. Because it's only motivation for so long
Mm.
until something disrupts it, right? How many things can make the scales go, like the number go up? You've
So
got,
many things.
exactly, you've got what? You drink too much water. Drink loads of water, you're going to be heavier. If
Yeah.
you haven't gone for a wee, if you haven't gone for a shit, like, and then you get on the scales before that, that's going to make your number go up, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
If you're ill, that will dictate what the number on the scales say.
Yeah. Also exercise as well. Obviously, that creates inflammation. And if you're someone as well that doesn't exercise at all, and then you start exercising, you're going to be more inflamed and more sore, which is therefore meaning that you're going to have more water retention as your body kind of repairs itself. So that's also someone people are like, why is the weight going up now? I'm exercising. Oh, I must be building muscle. It's actually quite hard to build muscle. But yeah, it's generally because you've got inflammation in the body. Um, but digestion as well, constipation. If you're constipated, that's gonna mean you're obviously the number on the scale is gonna stay the same or go up. Carbohydrates, eating a lot of carbs. If you have a big pasta meal and then weigh yourself in the morning, probably gonna go
Yep.
up. Same as a really salty meal as well, high
Obviously,
in
yeah.
sodium. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, there's so many different things. Hormones, a lot of women as well. Like I find the week before my period, I tend to hold on to more water, feel more puffy, feel more bloated, especially the week of as well. Um, so again, that's going to go up too. So it's not an actual true reflection of if your weight is going up or down necessarily. There's so many different factors that come into it. And obviously, if you weigh yourself at the beginning of the day and the end of the day, you're going to put on a couple of kilos there as well because you've eaten throughout the day. Um, so yeah, lots of
Yeah.
different things.
It's like so many different factors that maybe if you're going to do it and you want to do it and you don't get obsessed by it and it doesn't make you binge and you have no link to that scale, if you've got no emotional connection to that scale and you want to do it, then you're going to have to get on the scale at the same time every day for every day. Every day, every day. I've said that like 5 times. Um, but use a whole week's worth and see what the average is
Yeah,
rather than rather than just doing, oh, maybe I'll do a Monday and then next week I'll do a Wednesday and then another day I'll do a Thursday and like
yeah,
it's got the same situation. Like if you've got clothes on, if you've not like weighed yourself, if you weigh yourself with your pajamas on, make sure it's the same set of pajamas. Like everything has to pretty much be the same
mm. Which is
for it
really,
to
really
work,
hard to
which
replicate.
is really difficult, like you say. And like unless you're going to eat the same meals every day as well, like there's going to be some fluctuation somewhere, isn't there?
Definitely, definitely. Like I've used weight a lot with women over the last 5 years of coaching, and it does help absolutely. Like it is a good, it can be a good tracker. And, once a week tends to work for quite a lot of people on the same day. I always say do it before the weekend because people generally have a meal out and stuff at the weekend or a takeaway or something like that. And it can be useful, but there's been so many occasions like we talk about where maybe it hasn't gone up. And I'm like, weigh yourself every day and then divide it by the 7 days and see what your average is for the week and then do that next week. And that's like you say, it's really interesting to see it that way too. But yeah, I think if you've got a negative, if you've got can't think of the word now, but just a not a good relationship with the scales, then probably weighing yourself isn't the right thing to do. And that's totally fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, isn't it? Everyone's different. Everyone measures things in different ways. But yeah, if your mindset and your emotions with the scales aren't great, then it can just lead to things like being obsessed by it and like causing that anxiety around it that you don't need. Like you're trying to, if you're going on like a fitness or health journey or trying to get healthier and stuff, you're causing yourself more stress as well.
Yeah.
That's again the opposite of what you're trying to do.
Mm. Take, for example, like over the Christmas period, like, so I don't weigh myself, which I mentioned earlier on, and I didn't eat as healthy or move as much as I usually would
So,
outside of the Christmas time. And I didn't have to stand on a scales for me to feel not great in my body. Like I felt constipated, being truthfully honest, maybe it's too TMI. Um, I
I
felt
wish
really
that.
bloated. Like I felt really sluggish. Um, I was having quite negative thoughts. I just didn't feel good within myself. Like, and I didn't have to jump on the scales to realize that I felt that way. But as soon as the Christmas period's over, I got back into working and moving and walking and back to the gym and eating balanced meals, eating more fiber, so I wasn't constipated anymore. All of that stuff, I just naturally felt better within my body. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I thought, yeah, I feel better within myself now. And to be honest with you, I probably looked the same. Like, but in my head, I was like, I feel so much bigger. I feel so like, oh, and heavy and gross. And I've never taken photos. I don't measure myself. I don't weigh myself. But I just felt like I was almost double of me during that time. And I
Mm.
probably haven't really changed much, but now I'm like, I just feel good because I'm doing these good habits that make me feel my best. So I suppose what I'm trying to say from that is you don't need the scales to be a motivator. Like sometimes it's listening to your body and actually how you feel within yourself rather than that number dictating, you know.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I mean, your clothes is going to tell you as well, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
I've got a pair of jeans before Christmas. Oh, God, I had so much room in them. After Christmas, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to wear them. I'll just wear my joggers, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably won't put them on until like maybe February time just to see the deal then. But like stuff like that will also tell you as well. Like you
Mm.
say, you know how you feel.
Yeah.
You don't need a number to tell you that. And also, like, what is that number telling you? Like, right, it says 70 on it. What does that mean? And it says 80. What does that mean? Or what, 6 stone, 7 stone, 8 stone? What does that mean? Why does 11 stone mean you're heavy? I'm not saying you are at that weight, but why do people go, oh God, I'm like that many stone? Like, that's not good. Like, for what? Like, what does it stop you from doing?
Mm.
Because I've never had anyone. Don't get me wrong, if you're on a bigger end of the scale, when I'm saying big, I mean like obese, when you can't actually physically get on planes and ro roller coaster
Yeah.
rides and stuff like that, whole different game. But for the average Joe, who has come up to you and said, how much do you weigh? Oh, you've gone into a shop. No, sorry, can you just tell me how much you weigh? Oh, sorry, that's too much. You best get out of my shop. Like, that
Yeah.
just doesn't
It's so
happen,
true.
does it?
No, no. Like, yeah, no one is literally asking you and it's not controlling your life. I mean, it might be controlling your life in your own head, but actually the world around you isn't affected by how much you weigh or what size you are or all of that kind of stuff. Like the world really doesn't care.
No, it doesn't. I've never walked past people in the street and gone, oh, they must be at least like 90 kilos. Look at them. Like, that is not my first thought when I see someone.
No, no.
I might look at them, I'll be like, are they going to smile at me? Are they not going to smile at me? Shall I smile back? Shall I say hi? This is what's running through my mind while I'm
Yeah.
walking past. Like, or are they going to ignore me and I'm just going to walk by, like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I couldn't tell you what the people looked like that I'd walked past this morning. And I saw plenty of people out on a walk. Don't know what one of them looked like.
No, no, because no one's bothered.
Exactly. You're not in their lives. They're not, you know, you don't care essentially, right? The only time you really need to care about your weight is probably if you've got a medical condition and the doctor is telling you you need to be a certain weight so you can have an operation, or something really relies on that, or if you're in a sport where you have to be a certain weight because you can't
Yeah.
fight if you're not at that certain weight. Other than that, if you're the normal person, if you're just any average person, like no one cares. No one's going to ask for it. It's not relevant for anything.
I think just to add to that, like that's very true, but there's also a healthy range because obviously the heavier you are, we're talking about in comparison because someone that's 6 foot and 5 foot, if they weigh the same, that's very different, isn't it? But
Absolutely.
like there is a healthy weight range person to person. Now this could depend because some people might have more muscle than others, some people might be more like higher bone density, all these kind of things. But there is a scale where you do want to be healthy, but it's not like you have to be X amount. It could be between, just for example, 60 and 80 kilos, just for example, throw that number out there. But do you know what I mean? Like, because also you are at risk of different diseases and health problems if you are extremely overweight or overweight, for example, to some extent. So there is also that argument to it as well. But I don't think you need to be an exact, like, for example, 63 kilos. If you're the 63, you're going to be perfect. You're never going to get any of these things because that's not necessarily true. But I think there needs to be a number where you kind of try and aim to be under at least. Does that, I know it's kind of, I'm not trying to contradict what we're saying, but there is still that element on it as well.
Hmm. Yeah, I get that. 100%. Um, yeah, it's a difficult one though, isn't it? That because yeah, I get it. I 100% get it. But I think yeah, as well. A lot of people anyway, when they start looking at the scales and they start doing other habits and stuff, things come naturally. And when you stop looking at the scales so much and you do all the other habits and you focus on like I want to eat more vegetables, I want to eat more like fruit and stuff, you these things like weight loss becomes like a byproduct. It just happens.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely, definitely. And by doing all those healthy things and building those like balanced lifestyle, like you're gonna reduce the risk of all those health problems and stuff anyway. So, you know, that's
Absolutely.
gonna be beneficial. But yeah, obviously like there is levels which is unhealthy. So it's just yeah.
Oh, 100%. You don't want to be 5'5" and be like, I don't know, 200 kilos because that ain't good. That's not
No.
good. But then that's why we said there's like, obviously, there's one end of the spectrum where you're like
Yeah.
in bones, and then there's the other end where you can't get on a plane and you can't, you know, you don't want to
Yeah.
be in that thing because of the health problems, asthma, and all of that, cardiac problems. You don't want that, knee problems, hips, all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, want to get that down. 100% with you on that.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think the thing is to think of like, yeah, look at all the things that you can do to bring that down rather than being obsessed by the scales or the number on the scales.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And like you
Absolutely.
said, you can use the scales as like a guide
Yeah.
as long as you're not emotionally attached to it and it doesn't make you do the opposite. 'Cause when you see that go up, as long as you don't then binge and then stop doing what you're doing, you're never going to get to where you're going if you've stopped because of that number. Like
Exactly.
if you're trying to get from like, I don't know, 90 kilos down to 70 kilos, if you stop when that hits, say it goes from 85 back up to 86 and you go, wow, fuck it, this doesn't work, you're never going to hit 70.
No. No.
Whereas if you carry on, even if it has gone up, like, just stick to it. Just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Eventually, you will hit that. And I also think people's time scales of things can sometimes be
Mm.
wild. So, like,
Yeah. Absolutely.
I get people come to me and they're like, well, I want to lose this and this, or I want to be this at this point. And I'm like, you've given yourself a month. Cool. Like, you've never done exercise, you've never eaten all this fruit and veg, you've never like these things. Yet in a month, you want to be something completely different.
Yeah.
It didn't take you a month to get to where you are now. So it's not going to take you a month to turn it all the way around to how you want to be. Yes, you can start and get on your way, but you've got to expect it to be at least a year to like fully be in it and like this is now my life. This is what I'm doing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And for you to see those results, yes, you might get results along the way, but you might not necessarily see those results in yourself. A lot of my clients will be like, I think it was the year mark that really like started clicking for me. They try and they'd be doing it, it's great, fabulous. But it would click at the year and they're like, it's becoming more natural. It's becoming the thing that I do now. This is me. This like, you know, I think
Yeah.
people expect things too quickly. So then when it goes back up, they're like, I'm off.
Definitely, definitely. Or being like over restrictive and like you say, trying to drop like 2, 3 kilos a week and then maybe you do that within a month, but then you haven't actually changed anything. You go back to your normal ways and then that weight just comes literally back on. So it's always better to lose slower over a long period of time. Build those healthy habits. Don't focus too much on those scales. Not at all if, for most people. And just really work on building healthy habits and creating that healthy lifestyle because that is the ultimate goal, really, that you can just stick to that forever. That's ultimately it, really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely it is. Like you don't want to be like trapped into being like, oh, just for me, it just feels like you're trapped if you're constantly waiting for a number to give you reassurance that you feel better.
Mm.
That number's not like I don't know, it's beyond me because like I feel better when I'm walking more and running more, like you said, like
Yeah.
doing more things. You like got the energy. Like today, I've woken up and I'm like, wow, I got so much energy. This is great. I know I feel good. But like that's because the last couple of weeks I've been eating better, like getting
Mm.
more into a routine. And to do that, I didn't want to go shopping, so I got Gusto and then I've got my meals. But I had to do what I needed to do to make me feel better, and I knew that would get me back into cooking again.
Yeah.
So you've got to, like, and when you start feeling like that, you're like, cool, right, now I've got the energy. This is great. I'm going to carry on doing these things. And, you know, like, I don't know, I just wouldn't want to be trapped by a number making me. Someone actually said about smartwatches, oh, you're trapped by your smartwatch because you're only like going by what it is. Like, obviously, we did one on smartwatches last week, but it's the same for the
Yeah.
scales then.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I suppose we should leave it there today before we ramble on for too much longer. I
So,
think it's
even
already
know
been
how
half an hour.
oh, fabulous.
But yeah, thank you so much for listening today. If you do have any comments or anything you want to ask us about this topic, then email us at contactempoweryouFitness@gmail.com. If you have any ideas for anything you want us to discuss in any of these podcasts, then that's always welcomed as well. Or just message us directly if you have any questions or have any ideas or anything like that. Um, but yeah, hope you've enjoyed today's podcast.
Absolutely. We also both run free groups if you want any more help or advice on anything. So if you want to be part of that, then again, just give us a message and we can add you into our group full of free information on women's health.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us, and you will hear from us again soon.
Absolutely. Goodbye.
Bye.